The Monty and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite four-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah.
Russell Broadcast, you are watching Monty and the Pharaoh.
Yeah.
So, for fans out there, the Peacock, the WW, I don't want to call it the WWE.
Happy WrestleMania weekend, everybody!
Yeah, Pharaoh's having a meltdown.
Yeah.
Must speak about wrestling.
Must talk arm bars, WrestleMania. Go ahead.
WWE came out with on Peacock a series called Evil.
And you sprung a boner. Because you love this shit.
I love it.
You love this shit. Go ahead.
And we'll talk about it a little later on the show, but I was thinking to myself,
oh God,
evil, like wrestling evil. And I was struggling to come up with wrestlers who I thought were evil.
Like on-screen characters or off-screen?
No, on-screen. You can't do the off-screen stuff,
there's
right?
some obvious
yes.
ones. On-screen characters. Okay, now that we've established that.
In between all that, I'm at home last Saturday night. Me and the wife are watching HBO, and I put on something called Phoenix Rising. It's about Evan Rachel Wood.
Evan Rachel Wood.
She was the actress, the daughter from The Wrestler. She was the star of 13.
She was good.
She's an incredible
She was in
actress.
The Wrestler?
Chris,
she was
good.
good.
I'm familiar, yeah.
Yeah.
She's really good.
And Phoenix Rising is the latest category of abuse documentaries.
Uh-oh.
The two-part film streaming on HBO Max brings a startling light to the abusive relationship that actor Evan Rachel Wood claims she endured at the hands of rocker Marilyn Manson, including severe physical abuse, psychological abuse, and the really four-letter word, rape.
Right.
The sexual violence occurred at least one time on camera, Wood alleges, filmed for Manson's music video, Heart-Shaped Glasses, when Wood was too drugged by him to consent. What he promised her was it was supposed to be simulated sex. But when the camera started to roll, he penetrated her.
He did it for real.
And he had sex with her on camera.
Okay.
Which really affected her career.
Right. And she was high as a kite when this was happening, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
So he literally raped her.
Right.
This relationship goes on for nearly 5 years of mental abuse.
5 years of this.
Forcing the drinking of blood, whipping, locking away, keeping her away from her family, and feeding her drugs. So I was sitting on the couch watching this, and I'm shocked, because I really did respect her a lot as a actress. And honestly, I actually enjoyed some of Marilyn Manson's music, and I started feeling dirty that because remember when Columbine happened, they interviewed Manson because they kind of were blaming Manson for the Columbine,
I remember.
And he was interviewed on it, and his famous line there was, if those kids had someone to talk to, maybe this wouldn't have happened.
Right.
But you kind of find out that Marilyn Manson's a Nazi.
Right.
He's just a piece of shit.
From the things you were learning in the documentary, which I did not see.
And what kind of sick shit does someone do to another human? This goes beyond the Will Smith thing now. Right. Now it's like you're taking a person. And let's not forget, their relationship started, he was 35, she was 18.
Are you surprised at Marilyn Manson's behavior? Were you really that surprised? Because I have to be honest, I am a hardcore realist, really hardened individual. And when I look at Marilyn Manson, I see a successful psycho. That's what I see. And I don't really like his music much, but that doesn't matter. He's clearly, the things that he is, as far as his showmanship, deeply bleed into how he is as a spirit. This is a fucked up dude. I'm not surprised that he did these sorts of things, allegedly. When I hear them. You surprised?
Yeah, I am.
Why?
I gotta say that, my thing with these kinds of, I don't want to say accusations, I don't know what other word to use. Yeah, everything is an accusation until it's proven.
By the way, she had this documented. She kept memoirs the whole time.
If there's video of that incident,
there is a
she
video
was
of that
actually
incident.
penetrated.
It's an actual video.
Jail. Goodbye. He's done. He's finished. And he should be immediately. If that's the case, then that's the case. The problem is, it's very prevalent in entertainment.
Yep.
It's like you have drugs, the physical drugs. Then you have the mental drugs. You have the dopamine that happens when you're famous and everybody's kissing your ass.
Oh, yeah.
And you become,
That's a
everybody
high.
yeses you, yeses you, yeses you.
That's a high.
It's literally a high, and it's just like doing a heroin or any other type of opioid where when you take it away, they become desperate for it.
Oh, yeah.
And this is why a lot of celebrities go, like I always use, better, ruined. You know, they're doing well, and it happened. Will Smith, perfect example. Why he's got the open marriage, right? Well, it's the cool thing to do. And but
Wait. In whose life have you been taught that it's okay to rape somebody?
It's not.
It's like, in whose mentality do you have the right? You know, again, when do you have the right to slap someone? When do you have the right to rape somebody?
It's all wrong. It's all wrong, but the problem is that it's slow. It's like they say, you know, the devil works in mysterious ways, and it's over time. These people get involved in these things, and they get in these situations, and a little bit more is okay, a little bit more is okay. And it's amazing over time what happens, that when they go from here to here, it's amazing what they're now accepting in their lives, whether it's in their private lives or whatever. They get away with murder, right? They'll parking tickets, moving violations.
All right,
They're famous.
so
they get away with
I'm going
everything.
to challenge you guys, both of you guys, with a very hard question, but I want you to hear what I'm saying to you. Is Marilyn Manson just as bad as Adolf Hitler was? And I'll give you my reason why I say this, and I want you guys to retort. Hitler played to a huge, massive audience. Manson, not so much. My belief, if Manson would do that to women, and there were other women making these accusations too in this documentary, by the way, if he could have the power of an Adolf Hitler, what would have stopped him? So you guys weigh in. Tell me what you think. Is that a stupid comment?
Jimmy, you want to go first?
There are different degrees of madness, just like there are different degrees of many other things in life. Adolf Hitler, I go by the back of the baseball card. The back of the baseball card says that Adolf Hitler was absolutely more evil at the end of the day than Charles Manson. That's just a statistic.
But he had more opportunity,
That's
right?
just a statistic I'm throwing at you.
Gotcha.
Okay? I'm doing first the numerical breakdown.
Gotcha.
Adolf Hitler is probably one of the all-time greats as far as psycho, lunatic bastards, but I think Genghis Khan holds the record when it comes to body counts. Could be wrong, but you can look it up.
And that's the point that I wanted to
There's different degrees of lunatics.
answer to, leaving off with what you just said, Jimmy, is we're weighing evil like the back of a baseball card.
How
like
messed
it's like
up
an
is
ERA
that?
average or something.
Yeah.
To me, it's like, is murdering one child
Right.
okay
Evil is
compared
evil.
to murdering 50 children?
Right.
It's all wrong.
Right.
And I don't know that you can say that. Maybe you can say because he didn't.
It is all wrong.
That Marilyn Manson didn't affect as many people in a negative way as obviously Hitler did.
Right.
I don't know if that's. I mean, is that a valid question? Does it matter, Mike? Does it really matter? They're both evil bastards. I'm sorry.
Good point, Farrell.
Yeah. Well, again, my answer is not definitive. I was showing the back of the baseball card as one aspect of the person's lunacy.
But the
talking
both
about
points, I agree.
Joseph Stalin
But what
killed
I'm
20
trying to
million
say
people.
is,
Is he the
there's
worst?
another Hall
what
of
I'm
Famer.
trying to say is,
Hey.
we're having this conversation. You're like, hey, Mike, but you know, in this industry, people get famous, and all of a sudden they take a little more, and a little more, and a little more. But eventually, when you keep taking more, you're Adolf Hitler.
Right.
You just didn't get
Sure.
that chance.
He was a man of peace. A piece of Poland, a piece of Czechoslovakia, a piece of... Yeah, sure. I get it. I totally get it.
And you know what?
I
The
also
truth
think
is
that I'm sorry, Chris. I think that Marilyn Manson has very powerful attorneys. I've said this to you off the record. I have a feeling that Marilyn Manson might be untouchable, quite honestly, in this particular battle. You're talking about a Hollywood actress against Marilyn Manson. Something tells me Marilyn Manson's little power camp is very powerful in this particular situation. I think it's going to go away.
Well,
I don't know why, but that's how...
A lot of things do without getting into the Biden laptop and everything else that's going on. A laptop. I mean, things go away if it's the right people with the right connections. You're right about that.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about him and his political clout in the business and how much money he has and how. Anybody can fight anything.
Yeah.
So I'll throw this at
obviously.
you. So you clearly have Hitler, who had people murder millions, right?
Oh.
Manson, we're already saying again. We're saying hypothetical.
Your friendly neighborhood lunatic.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's throw Howard Stern into the mix. Howard never. Hold on. Give me a chance.
Hey, it's me. It's Howard.
Howard numerous times have abused people so much that they've actually
Howard's rough.
killed themselves over what he has said.
Dana Plato?
Wait a minute. Is that true?
I don't
Is that
know
really
if that's true.
Absolutely. Dana Plato was on there, and Howard allowed
I don't
people
know.
to call in
That's
and
rough.
attack
I know
her.
she was
and you know
very-
what? The
yeah.
next
That's rough.
day,
That's
she
rough.
took her life.
That is rough. That is rough.
So what's the difference between him and
Who the-
Charles
who the-
Manson? Charles Manson manipulated people too.
Yeah.
Howard is one of the great manipulators of all time.
Charlie did cut off the ear of Shorty Shea though with a sword, so it's not like he didn't.
My point
he
is,
tied up
is
the
that
La Biancas to
There's
show them
so
how to
many
do it
different
right.
levels of evil.
You know?
Is it out of control to say that was made in fun? This
Right,
was
right,
this.
right.
This was that.
Hey, why don't we just cut to the chase? If he really did this, he should be castrated live on television. How about that?
He should be in prison for the rest of his life.
Loose Cannon says Stalin
Hands down.
killed more people. And that's true too.
Stalin, like I
killed
said,
many.
again, I think Genghis
Well, that's
Khan's
why I
got
said
the all-time
Stalin
kill
before.
count, but
But I personally, it's not about a body count for me.
Right.
It's all evil.
right.
And
Yeah, evil
they
is
need
evil.
to be dealt with.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, by society.
Yeah.
You know,
And the
that's
good,
it.
for whatever it's worth, the good book says that there's no discerning between levels of evil. By the way,
And Kevin-
evil is evil.
Kevin
So-
says
I wasn't going to bring
Jeffrey
that, but
Epstein.
you're right.
No,
You're
it's
right.
true.
Kevin
You're
says Jeffrey
absolutely right.
Epstein and Harvey Weinstein. Now I'll say one
Oh,
thing. I will say
God.
one thing about Weinstein.
What?
That's a man that just
Ugh.
used his power
Right.
to get what he wanted.
He used his power for his poker.
He used his power.
Yeah.
I think that's
There's a
as
difference, right?
despicable.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think
yeah.
what
Oh, what a
Harvey
slimer.
Weinstein did was as despicable
slimer.
as what any evil person on this planet
Oh,
has
yeah.
ever done.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Power, fame, money, human greed, lust, it's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I said, you know, it's these people that slowly get. I've seen people go that route over 30, 40 years, and it's a little bit every day, and then all of a sudden you turn around. If you don't look in the mirror every day and ask, who the hell am I? And am I making the world a better place than it was when I got here? People that don't ask that question, then they just wind up wrapping themselves around their own hype and what people say. And, you know, people who listen to all the negative, yeah, they wind up killing themselves. They wind up on antidepressants like 80% of the world, right?
Yeah.
But people that, you know, that don't and that just go blindly forward with their lusts and their desires and stuff, they start compromising more and more and more and more. And the more power they get, the more they get away with it.
Yeah.
It's really like an inverse
It's
proportion
messed
of what
up.
happens.
Yeah.
You know, the biggest politicians in the world, they get away with everything.
Right. Right. Yeah.
To me
Yeah, I can't
personally,
argue.
I just I don't understand what goes through people's minds, and I don't care how powerful you are.
Yeah.
There's nothing godly about taking advantage of another human being.
What about, does Russia really need the Ukraine? What are you doing? These young people are dying right now. What are we doing here?
Different, to me, that's a different.
That's it,
situation.
but that's evil too.
It is evil.
It's
Yes.
like, hey, you know, I think I'll just go in and
It's
take
evil.
the
It's
Look at the size of
Wait a
that
minute, but hold
country.
on.
What's
it
going
might be
on?
it might be evil in a way that we're looking at it,
Right.
but maybe I'm just saying the Russian people are like, man, we're starving over here. We need more, and maybe in their mind.
No,
Yeah.
Michael, they know
No,
that's
the
only
Russian
going to alienate
people
them
are
from the
not
rest
too
of the
thrilled.
world
No, I got
and
it.
from the Western world
I don't
think
and
the
from the
Russian people are too
pipeline
thrilled.
of money and food and commodities. That doesn't help the Russian people.
Yeah.
Everything that Vladimir Putin is doing is hurting everybody, and it's hurting him the most, whether he realizes it or not.
not a good
He's
thing.
finished.
It's not a good
He's
thing.
finished because if he wins the war, he's finished. If he loses the war, he's finished.
Right.
He picked a
not a good
fight
thing. Yeah.
with a country he had no idea what he was getting himself into, number one. And number two, for what? For what? He had Crimea. He got away with that. He
Right.
has to now. Was he going to go to Poland next?
Oh,
that's-
boy.
that's-
Now we're talking World War III.
But isn't
Now
that
you're
interesting
talking World
how,
War
you know,
III.
you say
If we're
Poland,
not already in World
Ukraine
War
doesn't
III.
deserve
No,
any
you're right.
humanitarian
You're right.
respect? I was like, oh, well, Poland.
He has
you know?
this
I mean,
twisted idea that he wants to go back 100 years as to what the Soviet Socialist Republic was 100 years ago.
USSR, yeah.
That's over.
Yeah.
The world is not the same place it was 100 years
No,
ago.
it's not.
That's
No.
never going to happen.
No, and our toys are a lot more dangerous now.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, we'll be right.
yeah.
We'll be right back, and
Oh, yeah.
we're going to get into a little wrestling for the last
Really?
30 minutes. So you'll be happy about that.
Whoa, WrestleMania. No.
We'll be right back with I'd rather be a
TikTok.
nobody than an evil somebody.